The security checkpoint at Station Gamma 7 was designed to process thousands of species daily. Kivo had seen everything in his 3 cycles working the scanners. Crystalline beings that refracted light in impossible colors, methane breathers in pressure suits, even a sentient gas cloud once. But he'd never seen anything quite like this. The human walked through the detector archway with absolute confidence, her boots clicking against the polished floor. Lena Ward, according to her credentials. Behind her in a wavering line of chaos and curiosity, followed no fewer than 7 Orathi cubs. Kivo's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, an involuntary response to confusion. The Orathi were apex predators from the Kelrath system, feline adjacent, all teeth and claws even in their juvenile state. Their adults stood nearly 3 meters tall and were banned from most civilian stations due to incident reports. Yet here were their cubs, each about the size of a large dog, padding along behind this human like she was their pack leader. "Ma'am," Kivo said, his translator converting his chittering Zenthi into standard. "You need to stop." Lena Ward stopped. So did all 7 cubs, sitting in a semicircle around her legs. One of them yawned, displaying rows of needle-sharp teeth. "Problem, officer?" Her voice was casual, almost amused. "Yes, multiple problems." Kivo gestured at the cubs with one of his lower arms. "You're traveling with undocumented Orathi juveniles. They're not listed on your manifest. They're potentially dangerous. And," he paused, searching his database for the right regulation, "they appear to be following you without proper restraints or containment fields." "They're not with me," Lena said, adjusting the strap of her supply pack. "They're just following me." "That," Kivo said flatly, "is not better." One of the cubs chirped, a sound that shouldn't come from something designed by evolution to hunt and kill. It pressed against Lena's leg, and she absently scratched behind its ear analogs. The cub's eyes closed in apparent bliss. "When did this start?" Kivo asked, already filling out the incident report in his head. "About 6 stations ago." 6 stations? "Look, it's not my fault." Lena crossed her arms. "I was in the cargo bay on Outpost Meridian. These little guys were in a corner, scared, separated from their pack. I just said stay close so they wouldn't get hurt while I figured out what to do. Then I made sure they got on a transport back to Orathi space. Job done." "But they're here, with you, not on Orathi space." "Yeah, that's where it got weird." Lena scratched her head. "They got off the transport, found me on the next station. I sent them back again. They found me again. 3rd time, I gave up." Kivo's mandibles clicked together, his species equivalent of a frustrated sigh. "Humans. Why is it always humans?" "Hey, that's speciesist." "It's empirical," Kivo countered. He pulled up the galactic database on human behavior, scrolling through incident after incident. "You people bond with everything. The Council has 17 standing committees just to deal with human adoption protocols. There's an entire moon that's now a nature preserve because a human said they were puppy dog eyeing them. They were rocks. Rocks, Ms. Ward." "Those were lithoid juveniles, and you know it," Lena said defensively. One of the cubs wandered over to Kivo's station and began batting at a dangling cable. Another 2 were now play fighting, rolling across the checkpoint floor in a ball of fur and small growls. A 3rd had discovered a waste receptacle and was trying to fit its entire head inside. "This is a security risk," Kivo insisted, though his voice had lost some of its authority. The cub near his station was now purring, a deep, rumbling sound that vibrated through the floor plates. Despite himself, Kivo found it pleasant. "They're just babies," Lena said, and there was something in her voice, something soft and protective that seemed to resonate at a frequency that bypassed logic entirely. "They got scared and lost, and they just needed someone to tell them it would be okay. So I did, and apparently that was enough." "Enough for what?" "Enough for them to trust me." She knelt down and immediately all 7 cubs converged on her, climbing over each other for her attention. She laughed, a purely human sound of joy, and for a moment, Kivo saw it, the thing that made humans simultaneously dangerous and indispensable to the galactic community. They had this inexplicable ability to create loyalty from nothing. Not through force or fear or genetic programming, but through simple, sincere care. They said stay close once and meant it, and somehow the universe heard them. What am I supposed to do with you? Kivo asked, though he already knew he'd lost this battle. Let us through, Lena suggested hopefully. I'm taking them to a xenobiologist on Station Theta. She specializes in pack bonding behaviors. Figures she might want to study this. Kivo looked at his screens, at the regulations, at the 17 forms he should be filling out. Then he looked at the cubs, now settled peacefully around the human, and at Lena Ward's determined expression. Your documentation is in order, he heard himself say, overriding several warning alerts. For you, the cubs they're undocumented wildlife. I'm noting them as ambient fauna. They're not with you. They're just in your vicinity. Lena's grin was brilliant. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just, Kivo gestured helplessly at the chaos. Keep them from eating anyone. They're herbivores at this age. What? But Lena was already walking away, her unlikely entourage padding behind her in a devoted line. One of the cubs looked back at Kivo and chirped, as if to say goodbye. After they'd gone, Kivo's supervisor appeared on the comm screen. Did you just let a human through with 7 Orathi cubs? They weren't with her, Kivo said, already regretting everything. They were just following her. And why were they following her? Kivo's mandibles clicked in resignation. Because she said, stay close once? The supervisor stared at him for a long moment, then sighed, a universal sound of defeat. Humans. File it under code 777, inexplicable human bonding event. We'll send it to committee. Which committee? All of them.